Good morning, Sunday morning, June 12th. I'm going to talk a little bit for a little while about humility. Because you said you were humbled yet again. And then you ask, what's up with this? Emoji. I hope I can nip this in the bud or else risk falling on my every breath. That sounds fucking... With precision accuracy, did you say such a thing? More framework to be done, I see. That's what's up. Yeah. You got humbled again, right? And it is possible to get humbled, and it doesn't feel good because you just got humbled. It's the getting humbled. It's the getting part that is no fun. It's like, whoa, yeah. It's like talking shit to a little guy, all week, and then he fucking beats the fuck out of you. Because he's got mad skills. Anyway, yeah, you got humbled. Then you say yet again, so that means you got humbled in the past. And in order to get humbled again, the humble didn't stick. And that's probably the way it works. You get humbled and it hangs out for a while and you're in a humbled state of existence, and then the humbledness slowly fades away and you find yourself far from being humble. So, humility, working on developing humility. Humility is like an anchor, right? Then when you begin to get humbled again, humility it keeps a good hold on the humble. And then you quit getting humbled because you quit needing to be humbled. Yeah, that text you sent me. So humility is what's going to hold the humble down. Yeah, and I think I probably humbled you the last time. I'm going to assume I humbled you a bunch of times. But I don't come back and be all like, yeah, buddy, yeah, whatever. No, it's just a process, the way shit works. Remember, anything you experience, minus a theoretical percentage, I have been on that path and have walked on that dirt. That's the value of me in one regard. Yeah, I'm fucking... I got mad thinking skills and whatever. But I also... You're on the same fucking path. You're just 25 years behind me. And always will be. But I don't remember specific moments of getting humbled, but I remembered they were there. And it's no goddamn fun, man. It's embarrassing, which is weird because there's nobody to be embarrassed for it. So it's a weird kind of thing. And fear would come in at that point. I didn't have somebody humbling me. I would just get humbled somehow. The world would do it itself, right? And I would go from being on top of the world, thinking I had made it and everything, and then I suddenly become, I made myself become something that doesn't exist, and then I got shut right down to the ground and humbled. And it happened quick. And because it happened so quick, and it was clear that something took me down hard and fast, there I had this fear. Like, what the fuck, man? Am I going to stay like this or whatever? Because, like, my thinking abilities kind of go, bzzz. You just sit there and be humble for a while. Do like, everybody else does out there in the world. You're in timeout. And, well, during that period of time is the time where you should start thinking about humility and what that would look like. And you look back into your past and your own memories, and You should be able to start digging stuff up where at the time it didn't bother you and the next day it didn't bother you, but now when you look back, ooh, you might cringe at it. And then you're like, oh, that's why 2 days later, yep, pride comes before a fall. It's a cliche for a reason. For a reason, man. If you want to be the person who is, I don't know, man. I just got this image of putting a trampoline at the edge of like a really tall, sheer drop off, you know, rock face, like the kind of thing that those guys free climb. And you jump and jump and jump, and you want to reach the highest. You want to win the world record for jumping the highest ever, to being the best high jumper. And you jump, and well, you jump out towards over the canyon or something. It's something like that. Like give one final push and shoot up. Like there's a judgment that goes on in our own head, a decision we make, or something. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just guessing at it here. I'm just guessing. But it's just automatic rebound, just like a. Trying to think of what it reminds me of. Like one of those golf, you can practice your golf putts indoors, and you putt it and it goes in the hole, and something in there goes boom, and it shoots it right back out. That's what it's like. Anyway, I might be losing my train of thought here, but whatever. Not the first time. It is fucking 3 a.m. All right, your message, dude. There's this quote: knowing your creator, capital C, parentheses God. Oh, God only, at least God made it in there, but he's parenthetical. They gave him a set of parentheses to keep him away from everything. God, if that's your deal, that's kind of an afterthought. Whatever's in the parentheses can be taken out. Knowing your creator is the beginning of wisdom. And your first sentence is the beginning, you say? Like right there with that, it tells me exactly how this little bit of writing here is going to go. That's the sort of thing, we say things like that. That's the product of a very quick, short reaction time. It didn't take long. My point is, you need to sit around and go think about stuff for a while and come back and say, the beginning, you say? We say things like, you say? Like right away. That's a right away kind of sentence. And if you said that right away, and it already has this tone to it, and down at the bottom you said, this statement is not only trivial, but completely false. And whoever removed my last comment is a bitch. Well, it's very clear you got butthurt somehow, and you went in and picked a fight. I don't know how it turned out. Is it true that one must, quote, know their God before wisdom can begin? I don't know. Let's say an atheist is profound. So here you're getting ready to allegedly support. I guess you haven't even said what your conclusion is yet. Like I got to do my own work over here and conclude that you have a standpoint that's different. That God might be the sort of thing that one comes to know, like it takes a long time, but wisdom could be acquired right away. And you're getting ready to prove your point or support your side with an example. No. If you're using an example as evidence for something you want to support, it's not hard to come in and find another example that contradicts that example. Examples are great for teaching, analogies, things like that, or to set up a structure and then to insert the term you want to insert that they're not thinking about in the way that you want them to think about it. Let's say an atheist is profoundly interested in psychology. He's not just interested, he's profoundly interested. So they go and get their masters. They grow in knowledge of themselves and their work. Well, that's where when I read that, I thought to myself, is that even possible? You know? We grow in knowledge of themselves and their work. Because if this guy's an atheist and he only comes to see the hand of God in things, there's no way he's going to really have an accurate estimation or knowledge of himself. Because there's no God to relate to. I am what I am, and part of the definition of myself is being made by God. And that has a lot of impact. There's a lot of consequences that fall through from that. Well, he wasn't made by God. He was the product of millions of billions of years of shit bumping into each other and wavy hands over time. It evolves, whatever that means, and it becomes a single cell organism. Then you get two cells together. I don't fucking know. And then you got a fish, and your fish got legs, which is interesting. But it doesn't do the fish no good outside the water because the fish can't breathe air. Well, we need some lungs. I mean, for all these things to get installed right away. Anyway. Let's say an atheist is profoundly, it's okay right there. An atheist, I don't believe in atheists. I don't think those exist. Those people that call themselves an atheist, they have some strange, tangled, confabulated way of thinking and speaking about the matter. But with a little bit of work, pretty much, some of them are really hard to extract, but you can go in and demonstrate that there is something somewhere that they believe that is supporting a whole bunch of their opinions and beliefs and life and everything. And it's just like another way of saying the same thing, which goes like this: God is there. I don't believe in God, but I believe in truth. Oh, well, that's just fucking great. Same fucking thing. I believe in science. You believe in science. Yeah, or whatever. What kind of... And then they got their arguments. And once you get tangled up in the arguments of an atheist, that's what they want. And they're just not going to give in. So I don't argue with those people. I do something different, but I don't argue. All right, so moving on here. Get their masters. They grow in knowledge of themselves and their work. And they start seeing God through these things. How are they going to start seeing God through these things if God doesn't exist according to him? But they might begin to see as some sort of, at best, maybe consciousness or intelligence at work, or some sort of harmony. And then, which he'd probably say something like, oh, that's what those boys working on quantum physics and quantum entanglement are working on, stuff like that. Weird. Or he starts telling people about what he sees, and they get worried about him. And he winds up going to a therapist, or, well, maybe he should see a psychologist. Well, clearly he's seeing things. Well, let's start you on this med. Oh, the system is set up to take care of these people quick. And they start seeing God through these things. What does that mean? So wherein does wisdom start? Before or after God comes to be known? That paragraph right there is... You're doing your best in a state of being butthurt to come up with something. The question still remains unanswered. What is the beginning of wisdom? Well, then go answer it, Caleb. Don't just sit around and poke holes in everything. Go fucking answer it. The statement is not only trivial, but completely false. All right. I'm not interested in statements. Right? This paragraph, it smacks of like you're working on a logic problem. Just surface level, just the words themselves, somehow. This statement is not only trivial, but completely false. Well, it's false because it is directly contradicted, but other than that, what'd you say? Completely false. Well, if you know it's false, you must be comparing it to something. There's something that you have that allows you to make this judgment that this is false and not true. You look at the statement as true. Is it true or is it false? And you have a reference somewhere. Well, I put my measuring tool next to it that measures truth or falsity, and ding, 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 it's a Geiger counter goes off. It's false as can be, right? Now, but you don't ever provide anything. So wherein does one find, quote, God on their path of wisdom? After wisdom begins, clearly. I don't know what's up with this wisdom stuff. No, it works like this. There's a territory of thinking that goes like this. Whatever it is that begins with the fear of God, it has a name. Its name is wisdom. Whatever it is that begins, one would assume that if you come to have fear of God or come to have knowledge of God, that things would be different. But it's not a matter of starting off with the word and trying to figure out where to place it in the timeline. That's just guessing game again. It's a shell game. I don't care what you do. You can get real creative, but you're just spinning wheels there. You come to have the fear of God, there's something that begins, something new, very valuable, very cherished. Yeah, what is that? Well, I don't know what to name it yet, scientist says, because they just discovered this thing, right? I don't know. Well, let's call it Fred. No, we can't call it Fred. It's like an internal state. It's something really good. Okay. How about wisdom? Perfect. Right? Knowledge is on the other side, and then wisdom is here. Knowledge can still be here too. But whatever wisdom is, you don't know yet. Have no way of knowing. And I don't know what you're thinking when you say wisdom. Wisdom would have never written this paragraph. Wisdom is the kind of thing, you can know that something is good to do now, whatever it is. Let's say you used to do it one way, and now you don't do it at all because you got wise to the situation, right, at your age. And then in 10 years, you still don't do it at all. But you've come to understand with deeper understanding, the depths under this thing that you choose not to do. The why, and it really gets more and more severe. And you have saved yourself from more and more difficulties. What's my point? When I think of wisdom, I think of an old man sitting in a chair, rocking back and forth. Ain't nothing in the world can touch that man. Nothing. All right, now, you have a good day. Okay? Squabbling kids, people complaining to him about stuff. Ain't nothing going to touch him. Why not? He has found something, and it has grown with him over time. Wisdom is not just something you have locked up in your head and you can just write down in one of many ways. No, wisdom is it's a way of being. It's a state of being. English is it's tricky, man. It doesn't help us at all with what they're getting at. But why should one fear God? That sounds kind of ridiculous. Okay, so it sounds ridiculous. Who gives a fuck? Let's go in and see what these very smart rabbis have had to say about things like that for a very long time. And Scripture says it straight out. Fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. When you finally, fear of the Lord, when you realize that you are in the, when you see that God can just fucking pummel the fucking shit out of you and there's nothing you can goddamn do or something, it's respect, man. God wants us to be with him because because we love him. God wants us to perform the commandments and do this and that and everything and be religious because we love Hashem. He wants to connect with us, and loving, if we love Hashem, that's the kind of connection. If we fear Hashem, well, at least we're connected. He's like, well, shit, I had to do it, man. That is oftentimes the first connection, is fearing Hashem. And you do the mitzvahs, you do the commandments, the 613 commandments out of fear of punishment. Shit. I don't want to get punished because God, he keeps up with everything. So I guess I'll do it. That's just like being compliant somewhere. You'll do it just because you don't want to, hear a bunch of bullshit or get fired or whatever. But you're not doing it because you love it by any means. And over time, wavy hands, one comes through that connection. Over time, that fear of God becomes love. And now you do it out of love. God's up there being all like, yeah, pretty clever, huh? Yeah, that's good. Just scare the fuck out of them, and then, oh, oh dear God. If you're mouthing off to somebody somewhere, I don't care what it is. I don't know, something at work or whatever, and you're just kind of cavalier and spicy and, borderline jackassy or whatever. And he comes along and humbles the fuck out of you, right? Some little guy with him. Well, you're not going to be very talkative from then on. You're going to be very careful. Because you realize this guy can beat the fucking shit out of you any time of day. No, I totally lost my train of thought there. So, this is the long version. I'm going to see if I can't record a shorter version. I don't even know what I was talking about. 22 minutes, not that bad. So regarding that paragraph you wrote, or that message, then you sent it to me. I don't know why. Was I supposed to be proud that you had, stood up for the team, or are you just trying to waste my time by writing a bunch of stupid bullshit? Knowing I'll probably do stuff like this, And then it also leads me to wonder, what's up with you, man? It's like I want to ask you, did you lose your fucking mind when you wrote that? What happened? I assume you were in some sort of chat room or whatever, going back and forth with somebody, trying to show your strength and your awesomeness, and somebody removed a comment or whatever it was, and you're like, oh yeah? We'll see about that. Type. The beginning, you say? It's just like, that's exactly what happened, man. You were out to hurt. You were out to hurt. You were like, all right, enough's enough. Pat! With the intention of, the scenario going like, all right, enough's enough. That's it. You have crossed the line. I'm going to unleash the Kraken now. And then you're going to be sorry. And you'll see what an awesome guy I was before. And you unleash the Kraken, and he goes like this. The beginning of wisdom, you say? We'll see about that. Boom, 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 and but it just turns out you did a bunch of air slaps. Your hands went back and forth like you're doing the doggy paddle. It's embarrassing, man. I'm picking up you broke up with Kayla or something, and not too many FaceTimes ago, something happened between us. You were speaking, and I wanted to make the point, like, it doesn't matter where you're going here with this. It's like you're just going anywhere is the wrong move. I don't really want to listen to something. I was going to point that out, and you chastised me, you scolded me, right? And I tried to interrupt you, and you're like, what? The way you said the words, you don't even know where I'm going, like that. But I perceived like there was this anger in you, and there's something where you perceive yourself as being defied, and don't defy Caleb. I don't know, something comes out in those moments. It's like, whoa, who do you think you are, bro? And you get like that. And that is a concern for me. That's the sort of thing you gotta fucking, stamp out. You gotta drown that shit, bro. Whatever's going on when that happens, it's like a meanness comes out. It's like you can be really fucking mean and cruel if you decide that it's time to be mean and cruel. And you literally change into another person, I assume. And it's like, holy fuck. It happened quick with me. It's like, I didn't say anything out of line or inappropriate or disrespectful or anything. No. You just weren't going to have it. You weren't going to have me stop you and interrupt you. And then my thought is this: wait a minute, I thought I was invited to teach, and that's my job. And you tell me to shut the fuck up because I don't know where you're going with your sentence, with your statement, with your thought. And all I wanted to say is, you're going the wrong fucking way. Wherever you started this train of thought, you made a wrong turn back there, and I was just going to stop you and point you in the right direction. Didn't let you roll. Well, you told me to shut the fuck up, and you kept rolling on. I don't know where you landed, but I know it wasn't anywhere near the destination because you just took off in the other direction. And I was going to point that out. And then if you ever begin arguing with me about something like that, I'm not going to argue back. I'm just going to stop. I'm not going to play. I'm not going to do extra work to justify what I just happen to see. That's me, that's who I am, that's what I do. But you have a tendency to demonstrate more resistance. Sometimes, I'm not sure what happens. Maybe you just had enough of me stopping you and pointing things out, right? It's like, God damn, he won't even let me finish the sentence. Won't even let me finish the thought. And he like stops me and points out that I'm going the wrong direction. I'm going to do what I want to do. That motherfucker ain't going to tell me which way to go no more. I never told you which way to go. I just told you you're going the wrong way. On a one-way street. The whole point was teaching and learning. And acknowledging that I'm the only fucking dude on the planet that can help you with this stuff. Doesn't mean you're helpless, but try to find somebody to replace me. I don't know what happens, but in those moments, when you shoot yourself up, you elevate yourself above me. And you can take that in the wrong way if you want, but you know what I'm getting at. When you elevate yourself above me, like, yo, shut the fuck up, I know what I'm doing. I'm like a master airline jet mechanic, bro. And I'm trying to show you how to retool an engine or something. And you tell me to shut the fuck up, you got it going on and you know what's what. And, you're still in engine repair school and you go in and you fuck up the whole engine. It's something like that. It's like telling someone who's clearly trying to help. And why do you think I would interrupt you? So now I see it. You scolded me, chastised me, claiming that I don't know where you're going, so I don't have any privilege or justification to stop you. Boy, I lost it. Hold on. Okay, yeah. What makes you think I would try to interrupt and stop you? Because I already know where this is going, and I want to respond to, I would just want to go ahead and respond ahead of time. What makes you think that's the kind of thing I would do? I don't do that kind of thing. So the claim against me at that point in time was just like non-characteristic. Like, that didn't make any sense. You think I would do something like that? I don't do that. I always stop you and point backwards. Always going in reverse. And you've even had talks about this. I don't know what the fuck was up then. But that's what's kind of scary about it, man. Something happens. You've had enough. You had enough. And you unleash the Kraken and watch out. Something takes over. There's something there. Remember that picture I sent you back in reflection where you can only see 3 hands, but it's very clear there are 4 arms. But it's very clear that 2 of the hands that we see are yours, and then we see a 3rd arm, like shooting off the TV screen. We don't see the hand because it's at the end of the arm. That photograph has 3 arms in there, bro. And there's some details there that I can point out that tell us a lot of information. You got something going on, dude. I'm going to say straight up. It's like, you got something in there hanging out with you or something. I saw it on the TV screen in the reflection. And the title of the movie you had up, I don't know what that was all about. But when you lose your shit, you lose your shit. And if you're starting to get frustrated or angry right now, it's an example of what I'm talking about. But I don't think it's you. It's just so, it makes me, here's my reaction, like to that paragraph that got written that you sent to me, and these little bits I've seen and whatever else. It's like I ask, who the fuck is that? Like, there's a complete shift in person, not just personality, but in person. It's like you're just a totally different person. And maybe it is because you're a totally different person, and something happens and takes over. But your consciousness is the only consciousness there. But you step out of the way and something steps in, or you get pushed out of the way or something. Probably more like it. And something takes over. I don't know, man. But how about this? How about you quit worrying so much about what other people think on the fucking internet? You spend time working on you. You're getting a little too big for your britches. You need to settle the fuck down. Remember, you don't know a fucking thing. The path you are on is a privilege. It's a gift. 2018, that's when we met. Was that 4 years ago? You're like a 4-year-old at best. Or maybe a 1-year-old when we started talking recently again. I don't know. I want you to picture going through 25 more years of this. You can't even imagine like what that could be like. It's probably kind of exciting. That's a long fucking time, man. That's a lot of sitting around doing nothing. That's a lot of actual teaching in institutions. Right? It's like I did a lot of work. A shit ton of work. Rigorous work. I was dedicated. I was relentless. Consequently, I'm laying here in bed now talking to the phone because you're going to be listening to this, I guess, at some point. Unless you've already gotten impatient or whatever and stopped listening because you've had enough. I'm not trying to pick on him, but I'm just trying to drive a point home. It's like, I'm just not going to ignore it anymore. And I'm pretty much not going to debate with you anymore either, back and forth. If you send me a text message and I want to write something in response that challenges it, just fucking go away and think about it, dude. Don't write back and try to argue with me. I'm not going to write back anymore. This is how this relationship needs to be. If I say something glaringly fucking retarded and stupid, yeah, you know, call me out on it. But don't call me out on it by addressing this, whatever it is I write or say. Call me out on it. Like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know, that sort of thing. I'm never going to say something to you or stop you or contradict you or just outright whatever for any other reason than good reasons. I'm not going to do it to harm you. I've been right about fucking everything so far. Yeah, your forgetter is working good. I say something, you think I'm crazy. Hey, well, yeah, well, I understand what you mean now. I thought you were crazy, but now I got it. Okay, this is like the 9th time in 2 months. We can keep doing it if you want. I usually give you a heads up of what's around the corner. Because it's cool. It's only fair. I didn't have a heads up. Man, I crashed and burned a lot. I give you a heads up, you know? Because I can. Why? I don't know, because I can. Because I'm a good dude and whatever. So if I were to give you a heads up now, what would it be? You are getting ready to involve yourself with a woman. Oh my God, Caleb. What did she say? As long as you don't mind baggage from a toxic marriage, full disclosure is messy. And here's your response. Oh, I don't care about the past. Okay, that's great. Good for you. She said baggage. When I get off an airplane, I go to baggage claim because there's stuff I put in a bag and put in the plane because I'm going to have it when I get off the plane way far away somewhere else because it's important to me. She talks about baggage. If she has like unresolved issues and whatever that fucking means when she says that from a toxic marriage, she said full disclosure is messy. Dude, fucking run. That is not, I don't know what you think people are. That is not the woman you want to be with. No. Does she have kids? If she has kids, she's like, no, definitely don't mess with her. She'll be as sweet as she can be until she gets married. Now there's someone going to take care of her kid because she's scared to fucking death or something. I don't know. I'm not worried about the past. Okay, well, the past is no threat anyway. It's in the past. I just saw that fucking baggage that she brought with her. Like, what does that mean? Baggage? You need to ask her like what the fuck that means and yeah, like baggage. Well, what's in the bags? What kind of baggage? What do you mean baggage? She must be talking about something. I don't know what it is. But you're also now dealing with a woman who is acknowledging she's carrying around baggage from a toxic marriage, the story of which would be very messy, and she's out dating again. This is not the kind of woman you want to be with, Caleb. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it now. No, she's a holy fucking terror. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's the heads up. She is not somebody you want to be with. I just, I need to go find my YouTube video I recorded for you, and I uploaded it to YouTube, and it became clear you didn't watch it. I was talking about things like this. Like you made some incredible mental leap or whatever and jump, and it was like really cool. It was cool for you and cool for me, and I said, now, you're going to shine brighter. You got more light in you. You're going to shine brighter. You're going to attract more bugs. Let's talk about that. I'm going to talk about it. Talk about how they appear. The negative forces, the demons, if you will. The things out to get us, in this eternal battle between good and evil. as you increase your power of thought and your power of being, you become your threat level goes up to the enemy. You know, it goes up a couple notches because now you can do more damage by spreading more good. And I'm talking about from the enemy side. So you become a higher value target. They increase the bounty on your head a little bit. They increase the bounty on your head. And so what you got is you got some, weekend hobbyist demons out there looking for you. They're just weekend hobbyists. But there's some people, there's some entities, make a living, catching these kind of misdemeanor criminals or whatever you want to call it. Right? I can't imagine what the price on my head is. Well, they ain't got me yet. I don't know. Probably have a whole task force devoted to me. It's pretty cool, ain't it? Yeah. Okay, I'm done. I'm done basking in the glow of my own little imaginary story world I made up there. But yeah, you become higher value, so you're gonna attract more skilled pursuers, and they show up. You know how the devil appears? You heard the phrase "the devil with the red dress on." Devil with the red. That's exactly how the devil appears. Appears as the thing you want most of all in life. Appears as an attractive female. And the whole bit about, as long as you don't mind baggage from a toxic marriage, the full disclosure of which is messy, that's the devil. You know what that is? That's him covering his ass. He told you right up front, baggage from a toxic marriage, and the full disclosure would be messy. It's clear she doesn't want to talk about it because there's something fucking terrible that happened. Like she tried to poison her ex-husband or something. I don't fucking know, man, but there's something going on there. And Devil's like, look, I didn't trick him. I told him right there who I was. And he said, oh, I'm not worried about that. I'm like, okay. Yeah. So you don't get to say, oh man, in my defense, I want to say I was tricked. No, you weren't. You were told. Right up. She's the devil in disguise, man. She's yeah, I told her. It's like, the devil's the devil. He's a little devil. Who appears like that girl. And here's what's going to happen one day. You're going to get somebody pregnant. And then you're fucked. Or the girl's so crazy that, when you get home from her place, the cops show up in a little while and take you to jail. You're under arrest. You're being charged with second-degree rape. Because her ex-boyfriend showed back up and wanted to know what the fuck is going on. And so she makes up a story. Beats he punches her in the face and stuff. And makes up a story because she's scared to death for her life. And fuck that dude, man. You're just that dude. Fuck that dude. She says, yeah, fuck that dude, man. So she calls up and says, I'd like to report a rape, or something like that. Super duper. Now she's got a black eye. I don't know, man. Make up your own goddamn story. It happens. Something's going to happen. It's just a matter of time, Caleb. It's just a matter of time. You're playing with fucking goddamn fire right there. If you're trolling the internet for these girls, oh, that makes the devil's job easy. So easy. Because each time he appears as a pretty girl, as a sexy little thing, he learns a little bit more about you and how to get you quicker next time. That was a little fucking devil, man. But you might say, but that's not fair. Well, you may not. Okay, whatever. That's how shit is. Well, what kind of God would let that happen? A good God. We need the devil. Without the devil, we're nothing. We have to have something to push off against. If you sit there and run jack up your car, wheels are off the ground, rear wheels, and you just fucking floor that engine and keep it running like that, there's nothing pushing back on it. A guitar amp that uses tubes, a tube guitar head, if you don't have a speaker cab hooked up, and you're just using the direct out, there's no load on it. And so it knows how much electricity to send out to the speaker based on what it perceives coming back. And when it doesn't see anything coming back, there's no pushback, because that's what the speaker would do. It pulls more power from the outlet. These are 15 amp outlets. I don't think that's a lot of fucking amps, man. You need 15 amps to run a welder. A fucking welder, not a little tiny PV micro head, mini head with tubes in it. You probably, I don't know, way less than an amp even. There's not a whole lot of electricity coming out, but it gets loud quick. That thing heats up and whatever, and because there's nothing to push off against, and it burns, and that's that. It burns itself up. So we need something to push off against. The cantilever, if you will. I know this is fucking 46 fucking minutes. Whatever. It's a gift. I don't know what you think is going on around here, or the way the world works, or if somehow you're special and unique and you're exempt from things, but no, you're not. When I tell you something, guess what? It's the goddamn truth. Well, how do I know? Because I was there. I was fucking there. And so the gist of the YouTube video goes like this. There's a spiritual war going on. There's a battle between good and evil. The devil's out there. The demons are out there. The ghouls are out there. Negative entities are all everywhere. The demonic forces, if you will. And what they want to do is they want to get you and trap you and point you in the wrong direction, where you think you're looking right in the direction of God, God's will, but you're not. Not even close. And then they'll assist you in your struggle, in your noble journey towards God and holiness. But they're the ones that pointed you in a completely wrong direction, and they keep fucking you up. So it's that way they remain hidden in the background. All they do is they turn you, they point, and then you think, I fucking finally see it. You get all excited and stuff or whatever, and you pursue that path, and, well, you're just like, no. It's really, then they don't have to do any work. The other people around this person pursuing God in knowledge and holiness and righteousness, with his whole existence, that's what he does for a living, is becomes this so-called spiritual man, no one's any the wiser, It's like he gets help from his peers, and then, applause and congratulations or whatever. My point is that the demons out there, the negative entities, they're very clever. Here's a good way to think. And learning different ways to think by placing yourself in somewhere else, calling that spot home, the reference point, a certain standpoint of looking at the world. You can think like this: like if you were a demon and you wanted to capture Caleb, right? Last thing you want is for Caleb to ever become Jewish. Last thing you want is for Caleb to become righteous and holy. That's the last thing the devil wants. He doesn't want people pursuing God, walking towards God's house, because he hates God. So how would I get you and turn you in the wrong direction? Think of that yourself. If the situation was reversed, how would you catch somebody? How would you get their attention? And you do whatever you want. Like, you have those powers. You can appear as a pretty girl. You can, I don't give a fuck, you can think of things as well as I can. With you, if I were going to catch you, I would appear as a smart guy, attract your attention, then you think I'm one of you, one of y'all, or whatever. But every time you would say, he's one of us, I'd attract your attention. And over time, slowly, just ever so slowly, I'd begin suggesting that I had no idea how fucking brilliant you are. I knew you were brilliant, but I didn't know how wise you were compared to me. And I'll just flat out at some point acknowledge, like, I am nowhere near the level of you because I want to keep you happy, Caleb. And that would be like the first mission I would accomplish, the first little element there of catching you. I don't know where I go from there. I don't really care enough to think about it. That's the way I think. If I were going to take over the world, how would I do it? Well, I don't really feel like doing anything, so I would have to do it from sitting at home. How do you take over the world by sitting at home? That's what I'm talking about. I don't know. But if I had to do it, that's exactly where I would be while I'm doing it. Those are my conditions. Like, if that can't be met, fuck it. I don't care about taking over the world. Think like the bad guy for a while. If you weren't you and you were the others, if you were the enemy, how would you pursue the souls of people? You can't just show up as like some sort of scariness. That's when people run to God. No. You can't show up as something bad and evil, scary. That's when people, in those times of stress and those times of despair, that's when they can see God. Or at least they turn to God again. No. Once I would appear to you in such a way that I capture your entire attention and you completely forget about all this other stuff that is so important to you. And I've documented vocal audio of you talking about it, about this is the only thing you want and this is important and nothing's going to stop you. And then a pretty girl comes along and you're like, it's just a bunch of, I don't know what happens. But you totally forget about like what we do. She's got your attention. And she can hold it for a long time. And then when you try to return to this kind of work you're doing, it's a change. It's a difference. And she would be well within her right and justified to kind of not like it. And she would tell you, what, so you were just like putting on an act the whole time? Or something like that. I don't know, I'm just thinking randomly here. My whole point is, I made the call last time. I'm making the call this time. And signs you see in the world, coincidences and whatever, don't rely on those at all. Just, you can notice them. They're only good when you look in the past, these signs you see and whatnot. There might be a sign that confirms you're going the right way. You're like, well, okay, I was going this way anyway. But if you change your direction in life or even in the day because you see a certain color that has a certain word on it, oh, there's a message for me to go the other way. Like, gotcha. Yeah, don't rely on things you can see. You can see them, but, don't throw it into the decision-making process. And I think she's going to get you quick. That's just what I saw just now. Get you quick. Like 9 days. That's the number that popped up in my head. I don't know how long it'd be, but quick. Something's going down, man. Something's going down. There's something up with that woman. Because I love you, you're my brother, and I'm your surrogate dad or whatever. When she says full disclosure is messy, I would press her, like, what do you mean messy? You don't have to tell me any details about the marriage or the divorce, but when you say messy, like, messy how? What within your right to ask that question? You say marriage, baggage from a toxic marriage? She describes it as toxic. You should ask her this question. Why do you say toxic? What does that mean when you say it? Right? That's a lot different than an unhappy marriage. Or an incompatibility marriage. A toxic marriage. Okay, Jesus Christ. For her to throw that out this early in the game, she's the perpetrator. Oh my God, you have no idea who you're hanging with, bro. She's the bad guy. And it gets messy. Maybe he's the one that wanted to divorce her. And she started doing stuff like stalking the fuck out of him and doing weird shit and hanging dead cats in the trees in his front yard. And people do that shit. Ask her about the baggage. Like, well, what's in the baggage? What's in the bags? Why are you carrying it around with you? There's marriage, bad marriage, unhappy marriage, and toxic marriage. Toxic how? And you say full disclosure is messy. Well, I don't need full disclosure, but give me some of the messy parts. Like what? Give me an example. Like, help me out here. And for you to say, well, I'm not worried about the past is the past. That's not what we're talking about here. Like, she's just moving on to the next one, man. She got you. You know what a spider does? Spider puts a web up. You know how to catch a spider? You turn on the porch light and you wait for it, to catch itself. You just turn on the light. That spider's going to put his web up next to the porch light because that's where these dumb old bugs like to fly. They fly around the light, buzz, 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 and they get caught in the net. The spider goes down there, puts his fangs in there, injects the poison, which paralyzes it but keeps it alive, wraps it up in silk in order to protect it, and carries it back and puts it with the others and is just stocking up on paralyzed living bugs to eat later. It collects food in advance. Now I want you to take what I just said there and think of it literally. Like, that's what's going on here, bro. And it don't take long either. Put a web up, gets dark, turn the light on, boom. Probably sooner than not, some bug gets stuck in the web. Spider's like, couldn't be easier. It's like taking babies from candy, or candy out from babies. You're going to get paralyzed. Then you're going to get wrapped up, whatever that means, and you're going to get put somewhere. And you're just going to stay there until nothing good is going to come from being with her. Nothing. And if what you want most of all in the world, your single most greatest desire, is a woman, well, and that's what motivates you to do what you do. What happens when you get a woman? Even if she's your fucking soulmate and you can't believe you got so fortunate. What's going to motivate you then to do things? What do you want now? And you lose your motivation once you achieve your goal there. Right? I need to be motivated go out and meet girls or whatever and find someone to get along with and get married. I have to be motivated to go do that. But once I'm married, I'm not motivated to go do that anymore. I don't just keep doing that. The motivation is going to go away. If that's what motivates you from the get-go, at the base, at bottom, all your resources are poured into that. And you'll wind up finding somebody, Caleb, and something else. I don't know. At some point, somebody's going to get married, or somebody's going to do something, or somebody's going to get somebody pregnant, and now y'all are together for a very long time. We move in, try to make it work. Let's get married because you're an honest, honorable guy, or whatever. And you didn't want any of this. And goodbye to other life, which is the life that you and I talk about. Bye. Wow. Then you have financial struggles because the babies are expensive. Someone has to stay home and stay with the baby. This is the kind of thing I'm talking about, man. Now, here's a possible response from you. How the fuck am I supposed to know that whether she's good for you or bad for you from a distance? All you did was send me like one paragraph from her and then another paragraph from you, and then whatever you sent me. I don't know anything about this girl. Sue Judy, that's all I know because I saw it on the WhatsApp thing. Sue Judy. Oh, 2 first names. There's something there. Sue Judy. Judy Sue. Sue Judy. Sue Judy. Is Judy her married name or her given, what do we call it? The name you have when you're born. I can't even think of what it is. Maiden name. You cannot overlook these things, man. Right? And give the impression like you're just so fucking spiritually fit. None of that matters to me, man. All that's important is who you are today. Well, who she is today is somebody carrying around things from her toxic marriage. Her messy, toxic marriage. She carries them around with her. That's her baggage. It's not that hard to be okay with things in the, folks did in the past. But if you still carry your burglar tools around with you everywhere, or whatever it is, you're about to make a big mistake, Caleb. You may not like to hear what I'm saying. But I challenge you to find a time in the past when I have said such things like this. The basic structure, like, heads up, whatever. Yep, told you. So here we go, Caleb. Heads up. You got yourself a real live spider there. And I mean, the spirit of spiderness operates like a spider operates. So you could begin wondering, thinking about, what is the light? Well, that's her prettiness and the fact that she reflects you back into you. What you love about her so much is you. You're just looking at yourself. She appears to you as you, but in a different visual form. And your narcissism kicks in, and you just sit there and stare at yourself in the mirror, and you say things like, God, I'm so beautiful, just like amazing. That's what's going on here. That's exactly what's happening. And you were telling me things like that before y'all had even gotten together in person. Almost like somebody did some voodoo and put a witch's spell on you. You remember The Witch? I talked about The Witch back in 18. And what I wrote, it goes like this. We had to poison the planet to kill the witch. Or something along those lines. The witch. Oh, even just for me even to like think of it a little bit. The witch. Jesus Christ. Like, gee, wow. The witch. There are witches. Black magic does work. The internet. The interweb. The World Wide Web. A web, like a spider. You flew right into her web. She already got you. And now you're kind of paralyzed. I bet you ain't done nothing you usually do, except sit around and think about her and chat with her on the phone and like tell me about her. And I don't know. Well, you take a break, so you go in and try to beat the fuck out of people typing some shit on the internet, which is what you sent me some of. Yeah, you're taking a break and decide to go fight with people. Then you get back to looking at yourself again. And you're seeing yourself through her. Anything that's this attractive this fast, it's a mirror. This is not how it works, man. And you will never be successful this way. It's like the devil sitting there and you're doing these dating sites or whatever. He's just letting you pick out the avatar. You know, whatever works for him. You know, those are avatars. Those are forms. And you pick this one, okay, I guess I'm wearing this suit, you know, and he enters that avatar. It doesn't matter who you pick. You're just picking, like, if I'm going to be fucked with, I at least want to be fucked with by a beautiful woman who is able to make me forget that I'm being fucked with. And I know there's a lot going on in your head since the get-go with her. And you've had questions and stuff. And I keep seeing 9 days. 9 days. Does that mean 9 days, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? Maybe, but not necessarily. 9 days. Oh. 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 Yeah. I see. I can picture 9 days in my head. I can gather a week of days, 2 weeks in my head. It's kind of hard for me to gather 9 months. It's harder for me to estimate 9 months. So I was showing the lean for 9 days, 9 months in pregnancy. I've made this suggestion before. I'm making the call right here. If you have sex with that woman, she might even already be carrying somebody else's baby. There might be. People do it, man. And the only way to prove it's yours is by getting a DNA test. I mean, not yours. But that's a long way away. And that means you're bound to her for, well, a good little while then. And then you're kind of like, gotcha. Now you're contained. Now they could really start to work on you, Caleb. You're locked in the building at that point. No matter where you go or what you do, they're watching you and they will get you. And they use those situations for training. she could be carrying somebody else's baby. She could have gotten pregnant last week. 2 weeks ago. Got together with ex-husband or something for a booty call, because that happens, or ex-boyfriend or whatever, for a booty call, and oh my God, she got pregnant. Well, see if we can find a nice young man to blame it on out there, because there's no way she can afford to pay for a baby and do all that. So she thinks up a plan and does it. I watch shit. I know shit. People are fucking crazy, and they can be quite malevolent and cruel and just downright fucking evil, man. So, how long is it now? 1 hour and 10 minutes. I can't help that. Sam Judy. I hadn't even bothered to look her up on Facebook or anything. I'm trying to see what I can see before I go and look at stuff. Yep. Sam G. 2 first names. I don't know. I'll have to just mull over that one. I guess it's Samantha or something. Samantha, Judy. Oh, well, just the word, the way it sounds, Judy. It's got the word Jew, at least phonetically, built into it. So every time she might have the occasion to say Sam Judy or Samantha Judy, whatever. Well, Judy, her middle name, and it's squeezed away in the middle there. You say it? Well, Judy. It's got Jew in there. Sam, Samantha. So Mantha gets hidden away, and she's just Sam. Because the devil will tell you what he's doing to cover his own ass. So if this was ever brought to trial, because you want to, because if it is, the whole baggage and toxic marriage and full disclosure is messy, and you got it's in writing right there. Don't worry about it. I'm good with all that. Okay, that's just like signing a contract. Sam Judy, and then for fun, he's like, I'm gonna pick a name that, is mocking, that he doesn't even see. Samantha Judy. Samantha. Cement the Jew. Cement the Jew. Cement. To cement someone is to turn them into stone. Turn you into stone, you're paralyzed. Cement the Jew. Samantha Jew. D. Samantha. Sam. I don't know. But Mantha. The man Jew. D. I would have to know the last name too. That's probably where all the fun is. Sam. That's what you call a guy. I know girls are called that. But there's something up, man. Her name's fucking Samantha. But you call her by a version of that is way more common for men. Sam. Uncle Sam. Sam I am. Samantha. Samantha. Judy. That's a terrible name. I don't know. It's a stupid name. Judy. Samantha Judy. Where did that name come from? Here's something good to do, and it shows you're interested. Ask her where her name came from. Her parents just think it up. And if so, is there a reason or a story behind it? You know, is there a story behind her name? Or is she named after, is it a family name? She's named after the great whoever, great grand, whatever. She's never liked the name Judy, she'll tell you, but that's what they named me, from Aunt Judy, who was always as old as the hills or whatever. Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll take this, I'll break it into two, and send you a little audio before I send any of this to you, letting you know what's up with it. This is the first time you've heard me free think for this long. What else can I figure out? I'm just sitting here staring at a Ziploc bag on the floor. Oh, you made a tacit. Apparently, I've been doing it wrong the whole time. What does that mean? If I were her, I'd be like, well, what are you talking about? She doesn't even ask you what's up with that. You mean doing it wrong the whole time? Like, what have you been doing? I don't think you've been doing fine dating. You just have no idea how to be in a relationship. It's a lot more difficult than people think it is. You don't just get together with someone because you all get along and expect everything to be okay. Someone's going to have a bad day. Somebody's going to have enough of it, at some point. Somebody's going to not be able to overlook some annoying habit anymore. It just happens. Then in comes the bicker. Now, you don't have any idea how to have a relationship with a woman. I don't know why you should. You just dated girls and, hooked up with them and stuff. I didn't even know how to have a relationship with a woman. All right, I'm going to push stop. I'm going to chop this up, and I'll let you know what's up.